In this video, I'm going to be showing the stock analysis of Simulations Plus or SLP. SLP has just released its third quarter earnings report for 2021. Total revenue has grown by 4%, gross profit is up 7%, and the gross margin is a solid 81%. And the best thing is, net income has increased by 29%, and yet, the share price dropped a whopping 17% upon release of the earnings report. The market reacted negatively due to the decline in the services revenue. Let's jump right in and find out what's going on here. The company reported that the software business continued to grow, but overall, growth was moderated due to delays and cancellations in the services segment, resulting in full-year revenue growth being revised to 5 to 10%. Simulations Plus is a developer of modeling and simulation software for drug discovery and development. They also provide consulting services in this business area. Their customers are the major pharmaceutical, biotechnology, and food industry companies, to name a few. Let's take a closer look at the income statement to determine the profitability. As usual, I've turned these boring numbers into charts that show a clearer picture and trend over the years. The revenue has been rising steadily since 2014 from $2.5 million to $12.8 million. These are quarterly revenues. On an annual basis, the revenue growth is about 4.7% per year. The cost of revenue has risen in tandem but at a slower pace. Gross profit is a healthy $10.3 million in the most recent quarter, and the gross margin is a solid 80%. That is a very high gross margin. Let's take a closer look at where are these margins coming from. The revenue has grown for their main product line, Simulation Plus, and the recently acquired Lixoft, but it has declined for the other two major product lines of Cognigen and DILIsym. Let's see whether the high margins get translated into a healthy profit. The total operating expenses are $5.8 million. The main contributor is sales, general and admin at $5.1 million and R&D at $0.7 million. This is a surprising insight. Usually, technology companies have a higher investment in R&D compared to sales and general admin. And this trend has not changed much from the previous quarters. The investment in R&D has always been in the low 5 to 6% range, and sales and general admin around 40%. It is not surprising then that some of Simulations products are turning in lower revenues. They are probably coming under pressure from their competitors who may be investing more in improving their products. After taking away the operating expenses, that leaves $4.5 million in operating income, and the net income is $3.8 million. The net margin is very good at almost 30%. So, while some of their products are turning in lower revenue and the services business is taking a hit, the overall business is still very healthy. The overall story is still quite good. So why did the market punish Simulations with such a big sell-off? Cognigen and DILIsym are product lines that Simulations acquired in 2014 and 2017. This monthly chart shows a small bump in price in 2014, but there was a clearer move in 2017. That was when prices started to move upwards. And there was an even bigger move in April 2020. That was when Lixoft was acquired. So the story for Simulations was probably growth through acquisitions. But for that story to come true, the acquisitions must deliver. So there was a lot of hope built into the price. SLP was trading at $53 when the earnings report came out. That translated into a PE of 95 and a price to book of 6.6. And since the earnings results did not meet the hope, the story changed and spooked the investors, resulting in a big sell-off. It is due to this reason why it is important to invest in companies at reasonable levels of PE and price to book. These are two of the measures that are readily available and anyone can easily do a quick check before investing in a stock. Another measure that is also readily available that can help with investing decisions is the PEG ratio. It measures the price to earnings over the revenue growth. It is calculated by taking the PE ratio and dividing it by the year-over-year revenue growth. In the case of Simulations, the PE ratio is 78.7 and the year-over-year revenue growth is 3.9%. So the PEG ratio is 20.22. That is very high. If the price has appreciated at the same rate as the revenue growth, the PEG ratio would be a 1. A value above 1 indicates that the price has risen faster than the revenue growth, and a value below 1 indicates that the price has not kept pace with the revenue growth. Value investors look for a PEG ratio above 0 and below 1. While the revenue has not grown fantastically, the net income and earnings per share have grown by 29% and 12.5% year over year. So the question is, why not use these numbers to justify the high valuations then? Well, if the top line doesn't grow, the bottom line can only grow so much. Eventually, it will hit a ceiling and the top line revenue needs to grow for the company's profit to rise to new levels. Let's take a look at the cash flow next. There is good positive cash flow from operations and generally trending up. Capital expenditures are also on the rise. That leaves with a quarterly free cash flow of $3.1 million. SLP's cash flow position has strengthened to $59 million. The quick ratio is a strong 8. SLP issued shares in 2020, taking advantage of a high share price and made $105 million. The shares issuance has increased the total issued stocks to 20 million, and their total authorized stocks is 50 million. So they still have 30 million shares that they could issue and improve their balance sheet. That is an asset for SLP, and due to this, they are not likely to go out of business as long as their share price holds up. As you can see, the balance sheet is strong with assets far outstripping the liabilities, and they don't have any long-term debt. Book value per share has jumped to $8.20, and at the current price, the price to book is 5.4, pushing it into the overvalued region. The stock-based compensation is $705,000. That is about 18.6% of their net income. And that is a very high level of compensation. Simulation is grossly overvalued at current prices, and their growth engines are not delivering on all fronts. But they have a very strong balance sheet and could potentially consolidate, restructure their business, or acquire other businesses to continue growing. On the technical side, the stock price is sliding fast. I am expecting more downside. So what would be a good price for simulations? Using the basic PE ratio method, if we take the long-term average of 15 for S&P 500 at 0.56 trailing earnings per share, the right price should be in the region of $8.40. Either the price needs to drop or the earnings per share needs to rise, which I don't see happening for now. Please subscribe if you have found this sharing useful. And I'll see you soon in the next one. Bye for now.